Hey, this is Santomassimo with the Massimo Group, and welcome to this third part of the three-part series on LinkedIn. Today, we're talking about cultivating and closing your connections. And we got those connections originally, right, from the great profile you created in part one. So let's review quickly. Part one, you built a dominating, resonating, attractive profile. Part two, you identified through the search features of the folks you wanted to connect with, and then you went ahead and invited some of those folks to be your connections and responded to others to be their connections. Well, now it's time to cultivate those relationships and close them. That's right. Move off of LinkedIn and move to a call or a meeting. Now we're at the tail end of the 4C model, right? We've built our profile, the content, we've connected with folks. Now it's time to cultivate and it's time to close. And we're going to share exactly how to do this. And yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to visit some of those conversations I had in an earlier episode and see how they progressed along the way. Now, why have they progressed in between these recordings? Well, we've had conversations, and I'm going to share at the end how you too can have more conversations, more cultivation, right? So you can do it on a daily basis. And in fact, you can do it with very little effort. Yeah, stay tuned. You want to hear that. So make sure you go through this entire process. This is essential now. You've built up to this. You finally got the connections. People said, yeah, I'll connect with you. So now what? Now you got to start the conversations. And ultimately, you got to ask for the business. Okay, so let's talk about cultivating, right? These are ways to help you stand out and build lasting relationships. And that's the point. You want to build lasting relationships. And the way to get that started is by sending them a welcome message and personalizing that welcome message. We talked about that a lot in our last session. You need to personalize these contacts, right? These are second contacts you're having. So make sure you personalize it. And yeah, you want to send it to an in-mail. If you're a connection already, you can use the in-mail, the messaging, and thanking them for connecting with you or following you, or we'll get to other things you can thank them for. But don't forget, this is really important that this second connection be personal and appreciative of the connection. Now, why is this so important? Well, because let's face it, they've trusted you by accepting your invitation. They don't think you're going to spam them, right? They don't think you're going to sell them. That's very important. They just think somehow, some way, this connection will add value. So as we move forward, and that's the point when I say move forward, everything you do from this point on is based on moving the relationship forward. Think way back to the pipeline conversations we had. We've always said in the pipeline, there are two things you can do, right? You can move the deal forward, so proposal to a meeting to exclusive and the like, or you can move the relationship forward. In the case of LinkedIn, there's no deal to move forward yet. We're moving the relationship forward. And you're going to do so with strategic, relevant, open-ended questions. Now, if you're thinking about where to get these open-ended questions, I'm telling you, as I said before, everything we do at Massimo Group builds upon something we did in the past. So we're going to get to some of those relevant questions in a few minutes. Now, it's important that you go one step further, right? Because look, ultimately what you want to do is connect. I get that, but connect on the phone or on email, but leave the long conversations off of LinkedIn. If you start having long conversations on LinkedIn, it's time to get off of LinkedIn and get on the phone or get a face-to-face meeting, right? Yeah, you can say go to email as well. Email is really no different than LinkedIn. So I'm saying get on the phone or get a face-to-face. Don't rush to get there, just like you wouldn't rush a prospect in a series of prospect calls, right? Don't rush the prospect to get there, but always think of how you're moving that relationship forward. It may take a couple hours, it may take a couple months, heck, it may take a couple of years, but you're always moving these relationships forward. So let's give you three approaches to cultivate relationships on LinkedIn. First, they're messages. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of messages. Second is really a layup, and that is the notifications. You'll be given notifications every day of what's going on in your connections, and You have two choices to make. We'll talk about those two choices. And then there's the comments that you'll be making based on their activities, content, comments they'll be giving you based on your activities and your content. Also, we want to share with you that these three tools, yeah, we want to move to sales, but don't forget, the connection is not about the sale, and the connection, more importantly, is never about you. We've said that in regards to your calls, in regards to your marketing material. That theme, that approach must continue on LinkedIn, right? It's never about you. We're going to figure out what their problem is or opportunity, right? And then we're going to share with them some ways that that can be addressed. And yeah, can be addressed by you. So let's start with messages. Messages are, in fact, a very effective approach, and they're easy and they're simple to use. The key is you've got to acknowledge, again, acknowledge whenever a connection shares anything with you, right? Ask an open-ended question and then move forward. Think about this. I shared with you in the beginning that strategic questioning to utilize and implement will come back into place. Go back and think about your focused questioning approach. Remember, fact, opportunity, consequence, understanding, and solution question. Well, yeah, that same approach to build a rapport with someone else, right? A new contact. You can use that same approach as we move forward in our messaging on LinkedIn to cultivate those relationships to move them to close. Now, let's talk about notifications, right? So this is a really powerful way and a direct way for you to get in front of somebody and continue that relationship. Now, there are a lot of notifications on LinkedIn, work anniversaries, right? So-and-so celebrating their X year anniversary, people starting new positions, right? Jane just started a new position at XYZ company, and birthdays. Folks, these are layups. They are layups for you to start and or enhance relationships. So let's talk about notifications. You get them every day. They'll be in your LinkedIn. You just look, and we're going to show you exactly where they are. And you have two choices, right? One is, hey, that's nice. Look at the list. Oh, I see what's going on. I don't care. Move something else. Wow. Option one is a bad choice. It really is. Because these notifications that you get every day, they're opportunities to either create or enhance your conversations on LinkedIn, right? And the more conversations you have on LinkedIn, the more conversations you can have off of LinkedIn. I want to move them off. So understand, the more conversations you have on LinkedIn, the more conversations you'll move off of LinkedIn. Think about that, right? You don't want to live in LinkedIn with all these connections and never go anywhere. You want to get them off LinkedIn to a phone call, to a meeting, whatever it might be, right? And that's going to result in more business. So if the notifications are giving you layups to have more conversations, have those conversations. Don't take those notifications for granted. Just don't let them go and ignore them. In regards to birthday notifications, yeah, you should always recognize someone's birthday. Now look, there'll be connections. I know this for a fact. It's true with me and everyone else. There are connections in regards to birthdays. You're connected just because you're connected and you really don't know them. But those you do know or slightly know, yeah, notice their birthday. Notice their birthday. Ask them a forward-thinking question, right? How are you celebrating this year? Let them give you some ideas. That will start a conversation. How are you celebrating this year, right? Or what are you looking forward to for the new year of your life, right? That's a nice one. Hey, what are you looking most forward to in this new year of your life, right? Really simple questions, but versus everyone else who just says, hey, congratulations, happy birthday, Bob, happy birthday, Jane, right? That's nice, but how about asking a question that opens a conversation? In regards to work announcements or anniversaries, right? Again, modify your response and personalize it, right? You can get an automatic response that LinkedIn will give you that says, congratulations on the new position. The problem is when you post a new position in LinkedIn, whether it's a speech or an event, and you make it a position, we talked about that in our last session on connections, you're going to get blitzed with congratulations on new position comments. And just shows that someone clicked the button, which is nice, but right? It wasn't personalized at all. So let's think about that. Hey, Sally, congratulations on that new position at XYZ company. How will this change your daily responsibilities, your daily pursuits? Let Sally tell you what this job is all about. And who knows, that job and the insight she provides you or he provides you will give you something else to think about and something else to connect with and hook on for the next question, right? How about, hey, I noticed that you're celebrating your X year work anniversary, right? 50 or 60-year work anniversary. How's everything going? What's changed in the last 3 years? What's changed since you just started? Again, get an open-ended question, engaging conversation. When you see these anniversaries, all these promotions, these are, again, folks, these are layups for you to start conversations. Now let's talk about the comments, right? So when you're notified that someone likes your post, right? There are various ways to expand or build on this cultivation of relationship. Ask them, hey, thanks for liking my post. Can you tell me what you liked about it? This is important for a couple of reasons. One, it gets the conversation rolling. But two, it gives you market intel to what you're writing and what they're resonating, right? What's resonating with that audience. So if they're going to share with you what they like about your post, that's a double powerful impact on you. One, gets the conversation rolling. Two, gives you market intel. And yeah, you can definitely endorse that person, right? You see that they liked your post, then go ahead and endorse them, right? Endorse them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that when we get to my live session today, which I have not seen LinkedIn yet today, so it's going to be exciting to see what happened. We're going to see if anyone liked any of my posts, and then we're going to go ahead and thank them for that. And yeah, maybe we'll go ahead and endorse them as well, right? And of course, you can always send them a message. Send them a message. Maybe it's an opportunity or consequence question. Think back to those focus questions, things you could do. Hey, let's talk about comments. And guess what? I said it already. I'll say it again. You already have the tools to cultivate the relationship. Your focus questions is one way to move a conversation forward, but don't forget, while you're providing the understanding question or the solution question, more so the understanding question, you can throw in your one-line value proposition. The one-line value proposition. Don't forget about that. Again, we're making this easy for you. We're giving you the easy way to build relationships to get more business through LinkedIn. So let's look at some examples to help you get started with building and cultivating relationships. So let's continue with that theme we had in the last session where we talked about searching for lawyers, okay? So let's say you're looking to work with lawyers. Hey, it looks like you're doing some impressive work in the litigation space. I'm always looking to grow my network and thought it makes sense for us to connect. Okay, you're complimenting somebody, you're going after lawyers, great, simple way to connect. Hey, Betty, I love that quote, article, or video on your profile. Again, complimentary. I notice you're quite an accomplished lawyer. Stick with that. What are your plans for continuing to grow at the rate you have? Again, shows I did my homework. I looked at their profile. I gave them a compliment. I'm asking an open-ended question. Here's another one. Does your, as in your company, or do you as an individual, have a specific criteria for investing, leasing, refinancing, whatever it is, your properties, right? So now you have a connection. That's more of a consequence question, right? Or opportunity question, depending how you phrase it, right? So how are you creating these questions and crafting these questions? Again, just moving the relationship forward. Okay, so let's say you continue the conversation. And again, this may be over a few hours, a few minutes, a few months, a few weeks. Be patient. Be patient. That's what you want. So many of the lawyers we work with, right, are really struggling with finding the ideal space for their expansive needs. We offer a comprehensive market study so that they can find their space in a more effective and efficient manner. Now, I just threw that one-line value proposition out there. But again, how does that work with you, and how can you use that as you share, right? Share your service and the impact on folks just like them. Social proof, that comes around again, right? That's what we're looking for. Sounds like we may be able to help you with this, with your space needs, with financing that property, with finding your next investment, with whatever it is. What do you think about jumping on a 15-minute call? Okay, very simple ask, just a 15-minute call. I can do it right now, or I'm free tomorrow morning. Okay, so look, if you're having a conversation on LinkedIn right then, yes, ask for the call right then. Don't put, I mean, it's you're having a conversation. The fire is hot. Ask for the call right then, or I'm free tomorrow morning. I'll ask you a few questions and see if I can be of any help and give you a sense of how, who I have worked with and what kind of results they have been getting and what it might look like for you. A couple things in there I think I really want to stress. This is now the close. You're asking to take things off of LinkedIn, move it off of LinkedIn to get a call, to get a meeting, right? Don't forget, this is all about them, not about you. So when I say the kind of results they've been getting, notice I didn't say I've been achieving for my clients. No, it's not about you. It's what your clients are receiving. That's what your prospect, in this case on LinkedIn, they want that social proof, right? That community proof. It's all right there for them. So now you're moving towards a close. Okay, here's some quick hacks. These are hacks or shortcuts. Think about that. Birthdays, absolutely. Likes, absolutely. You're going to get several notifications. We have several birthdays that you'll get at one day. You can create templates off in a Word doc, on your phone, on a clipboard, or even an Outlook, whatever it might be. You can create templates for just the standard responses that you're going to customize, that you can copy and paste to everyone. So think about this. If you have 5 birthday notifications, just copy and paste the template, or just write one note to the first one and copy and paste the same note to everyone else, and just modify their first name, right? That's what you want to do. So think about that, these hacks. Same thing with the likes, even same thing with the work anniversaries. I'm not asking you to spend your time to respond to everyone with customized approaches. That's not what we're saying here. In fact, the better hack is, of course, you use this approach and have someone else do it for you, right? Have someone else do this for you. You don't need to be doing this cultivating of relationships. You need to understand how it's done. So when the relationship extends to the point where you need to get involved, the person you delegate this to can say, hey, you really need to pick this up now and see if you can close this, right? Some folks, I have folks on my team, thankfully, they can cultivate a relationship and actually ask for a meeting. They can, without my involvement at all. But you may not be there yet, okay? And you should do this yourself first to get to the point you know what works for you. It's important that you know what works for you in your voice, so you can craft messages that someone else can then apply, right? And they can take over your LinkedIn when the time is right. So we're also going to give you a quick look at securing all the emails of all your connections. I'll show you how to do this. That's going to be really a key point for you. But why would you want to do this? Well, number one, you're doing all this work to build a network. Who knows if LinkedIn is going away tomorrow or in 40 years? I personally think it's going to be in several years, not tomorrow. But you should have that information. These are your connections. So make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep that information while you can. In fact, I make it a point to archive my LinkedIn information every 30 days. It's a big file. There's a process to go through. It takes days, but you can archive this. Now, what we're not saying is go ahead and take everyone offline and put them all in your email system, because then you're a spammer. And then you could be shut down. You could be shut down, your entire company, if you take all these emails and just put them in some mass email list, third-party platform, and start emailing everyone. You could be shut down. I'll share with you. It happened to me in the second year of Massimo. We're now in the 12th. It took forever I mean, it had to take me at least 2 weeks to get back up and running. Critical weeks, no matter what phase in your organization you are. So we're not suggesting you get the emails to spam them. Just get the emails to utilize and leverage in different ways down the road. Okay, it's time to go live. Let's go to my LinkedIn account and let's see what's going on today. And let's start crafting some messages and see what happens. So you'll see right here, what I jump to the notifications. I'll look at my network in a second, but go to notifications and see. This guy, Sim was mentioned in the news. Sim is with King Industrial down in Atlanta, I believe. Yeah, Atlanta. So he's a connection, I believe. So let's look at Sim. Let's see if he was in the news. Okay, so this guy, Brian Branton, was the Rookie of the Year, right? So let's see if I know. Do I know Brian Branton? Well, that'd be interesting. So let's go to see. This is where I'll go. Brian Branton. I don't think I know Brian Branton. There he is. He's a second. Look, he's a second. So look, no, I have him. His profile's lacking, isn't it? Only has 461 connections, right? He's a sales associate. Now for us, he may be good for our new to business program. You don't know. So I'm going to connect with him, add a note. Add a note. Just noticed you were named Rookie of the Year. Congratulations. Would be honored for you to join my network. Now, I'm thinking at a point of I'm a seasoned person. He's a junior. I'm taking a different approach there. I'll send the invitation. Okay, invitation sent. So see that? Customize a note to him to connect. Let's go back to notifications. So him, Richard, say he reviewed my profile. Let's see that. So Richard reviewed my profile. I'm going to connect with him. He's a second. He's with Castle Placement. I don't know who that is. So I'm going to connect. Oh, it says invited. I just invited him. So I wasn't able to send him a message because I'm not connected to him. So I'll just try to connect with him because he just viewed my profile. People looking at my profile. Okay, he liked my post. James liked my post. Okay, there's my post. This guy liked it. I'll jump onto him. We're first connections, so I'll send him a message again. So he's a real estate agent. Look, he uses that last name field. I'd like to see that, but there's no call to action. There's nothing that really helped me. He says he's a business coach, though. It's interesting. So I'll send him a message to say, James, I noticed. Oh, sorry. Noticed you liked my last post on annual goals. May I ask what your goals, your pretty big goals are for 2020? Okay, so I'll send him a note. Just send him a note. He liked my request, so I'll send him a note. So I think now you're seeing what I'm doing here. I'm adding, every time I see something, I'll say something. Someone liked my comment. That's a comment I just commented on with Reed. I know that. Oh, birthdays. Here we go. Here's some birthdays. So let's go to the birthdays. See who's celebrating. There's Nina. I'll say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nina. May I ask what will you do to make this next year in your life better than, I'll make it more positive, make it more positive than that. Next year in your life to continue to grow. Okay, there you go. So now, if I wanted to, I could take that same thing. I could take a template. I'm going to send that. It's sent. Get out of there. It's Justin's birthday. I don't know who Justin is, but I'm going to paste. I'm going to take that out. Happy birthday, Justin. May I ask what you can do in your next year of life to continue to grow? To continue to grow. Send, right? Makes sense? Send. Get out of there. Who else? Nicholas Harrison, Nick Ramirez. We have all these people whose birthday it is. Now, I'm not going to do this because I'll have someone do this for me. But you see what I do? I can go through all these birthdays. Now, look, if you noticed, but as I'm doing this, James responded to my inquiry, what he liked about the article. I told you this is live. This is all live. I can just spell fly fast. They go send that. And we go from there. Go back to James. Okay, what's your 3 goals? Continue to learn my job, first year guy, continue to build my pipeline using the tools your team taught me. I love it. Turn 1 and 2 in commissions. Sign up for your one. What about you? James, I shared all my goals on the video. You did watch it. The whole thing. And I put a little smiley face. James, I guess James is a client of ours. I didn't know that. And again, I don't know all our clients. I apologize to James. So, love your goals. Let us know when you are ready for our elite program. Okay, send. Okay, so I'm having conversations. This isn't taking me very long. By the way, 3 people now want to join my network, so let's see who they are. Rod, I'm looking to grow my, look at this. This is his connection message to me, okay? Hey, Rod, looking to grow my LinkedIn networks. See you have mutual contacts in common. Please know the thing I can do to help. Okay, yeah, he's asking me to help right away, right? So will I accept it? Okay, I'll accept it, but I'll just accept it without leaving a message because what does he do? He's a integrator leader, proven growth turnaround expert. I don't need it right now, so I'm just going to accept that, right? So I'm just going to accept it. Commercial real estate advisor. Look, there's no message, so I'll see if I can accept. Okay, so I can't touch the rest of these because my team takes care of it. They'll leave messages and I'll get in their way, and that'd be a bad thing for me to do. I do want to jump in a message though for a second, and I'm going to share with you a cultivating conversation. Two more messages. Okay, messaging, get that down. Here we go. Aaron. Now, I'm not going to embarrass Aaron, but this is live, so this is going to happen. So he's the vice president of leasing and sales. I think we touched base upon him last time to see where this message is going. This happened March 6th. At the time of this recording is actually March 6th, 15th. So 9 days ago, he reached out and he wanted to connect. I say, thanks for connecting. What made you reach out, Aaron? Again, personalize. He writes, I read your books and like your content. I found it all helpful. Okay, perfect. So he replied with my question, why did he connect? He told me why. So now I know that he knows a little bit about me. He's read the books. He likes my content, so forth. And by the way, you don't have to write books. They might say, hey, I liked your post. I like what you're doing. Find out why they connect with you, right? So let's continue the conversation. I said, hey, I noticed in your profile, you mentioned door-to-door sales. Now, folks, again, I did not read his profile. My team is doing this for me. They went to his profile. They saw something that they found interesting. And they said, hey, can you tell me about that? Open-ended question, opportunity question, right? Tell me about that. That's what that is. Now, Aaron tells me about his open door questions. I'm not going to look at that. There's no reason you all need to see that one. And then I say, hey, I absolutely agree with you. Now, do you have a specific process for client acquisition? Or is it something you're strategizing right now? Now, is that not eerily familiar to the question I gave you all earlier during the PowerPoint presentation, right? Do you have criteria for investing, leasing, refinancing, and the like, right? Same question I'm asking here, but in a different format. Do you have a specific process? And then this gentleman tells me his process, which I'm not going to share with you, right? So I say, do you have a short-term prospecting strategies in place to generate meetings a bit quicker than the value drips? So look, now I'm suggesting to him there's a better way to do something. Well, let me put that another way. Now my team under my profile is suggesting to him there's a better way to do something. So he tells me he really doesn't. So I said, look, this makes sense. And then I go into our value proposition, our solution question, right? This is where it comes to right now. Now, I haven't yet asked a question. I'm just making a statement here of the impact we have when working with folks just like him, right? So it actually makes sense because we help other professionals just like you. We developed the Massimo methods to help folks generate meetings and ultimately transactions using a targeted prospecting system. Typically, we help CRE professionals who are true experts, aka they know they provide real value, and just looking for better ways to translate value into commissions. Wow. Now, I'm fortunate. I work with a fantastic person who can really craft a great message. Great job there. By the way, is this something that would be relevant to you? Look at that. Is this something that would be relevant to you? Well, we know already it's relevant to them, right? Yes, sounds relevant. I'd be interested in learning more. This is at 1:40 on Saturday. Now you're saying, oh, I should have responded right away. Yeah, I should have responded right away, but my team will respond. In fact, I'm going to mark this as unread because I want my team to respond to them. Got it? Look at that example. And by the way, there's plenty of examples I have in here in regards to cultivating relationships. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. Stop the cultivation to close. You should understand it now. And now we're going to jump into that key of how you can go ahead and grow your network through emails, again, when used correctly. But how do you get to emails? First things first, let's look at the steps. Number one, go to your network, right? See all your connections, type in your connections. There you go, okay? Network connections, you're right there. Manage synced and imported connections right here. Manage synced and imported connections. I'm going to click that. By the way, I have 10,500 connections. It's taking time. There it goes. Okay. Export contacts. Export contacts right here. Oh, I can export all my contacts. Now, this is interesting. Watch what happens. Export contacts. Now, it's going to give me two different choices. One is really large file, download all the data, the contacts, the account history, the articles. That's a lot of data, right? Or I can say, you know what? Just give me my connections. Give me my connections, right? Just give me that. I'm good to go, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting their email. So I will always say, download me everything just to see what I get. It'll come in a very large file, a big zip file with little files in there. It'll take, could take a day or two. It could be one email or two emails, depending how big your connections are. So just understand, this is how you go ahead and you grab those connections, those emails to move forward that you can use off of LinkedIn. Again, don't be dumb here. Don't get blacklisted, but that's the way you can get emails to continue to cultivate relationships. Now we're ready for the exercise. And again, we're going to give you an exercise to make sure you're actually applying the lessons we share with you today. So what we'd like you to do is start cultivating and closing on your connections. First exercise, we want you to send some messages. You're going to share us the name of the person you're sending the message to and what message you sent to them. Just 5. Now, we want you to do more than that, but report back to us on 5 names and 5 messages that you sent. Then I want you to check out your notifications. Again, these are work anniversaries, work announcements, new jobs, birthdays. Just tell us the notification type. Again, work, birthday, anniversary. Just tell us the type of 5 people and the exact message you wrote to them. Again, just 5. You're going to do more. And don't forget that little hack in regards to copying and pasting messages for all the birthdays and customizing them to really quickly get through a whole bunch. So that's the second thing, notifications. And then finally, close. We want to see an actual conversation you have with someone that you use the open-ended, strategic, and/or focused questioning methodology, using some examples we share with you today, seeing how you're getting someone to close. We want you to close someone through LinkedIn before our next coaching session, and then share that conversation. Just write it out for us on this sheet. If you use an extra sheet, use an extra sheet. That's fine. Exactly how that conversation went. So 3 pretty simple things to do, but this is going to get you understanding how to use LinkedIn, how to cultivate, and get in the cadence. Start doing this on a daily basis. That's right. I said daily basis. So why do I suggest you do this every single day? Well, first of all, every day, more and more folks are coming on LinkedIn. And just like you prospect every day, you're making calls every day. This is another channel for you to go out and find new relationships and enhance existing relationships, because now you have the tools to do it. You absolutely do. But it seems like a lot of work. So let's talk about when I say you know how to do it. And that's the key. You know how to do it, but I recall I always learned from another coach, talking about the coaching folks I've been coaching in the past, Dan Sullivan used to share with us that you don't focus on the how as much as you focus on the who. Now you know the how. It doesn't mean you are the person that needs to do this. Understand that. As I share with you during our live session, a lot of those conversations I, quote unquote, was having with other people, I was not having. My team was having. My team was having. Until it gets to a point where they say, nope, Rod, you need to get involved. So from your standpoint, what can you do? Who can you work with? And yeah, there are so many folks out there, certainly folks that understand LinkedIn better, most likely younger generation folks, depending on where you are in your career, that can help you understand your messaging and then going out and cultivating relationships. Now, I'm telling you, if you just spend, as we do, 15 minutes a day on the 4 C's of LinkedIn, 15 minutes a day. In fact, if you think about it, you shouldn't have to spend too much time on first C. Yeah, you'll massage and update your profile as you have more content, you will. But most of the times we should be done on connecting and cultivating and, yeah, finally asking for business and for closing. So as far as a pinup, this would be a pinup you probably want to have. This 4 C's of LinkedIn is essential for you to understand how to create relationships and ultimately get them to be clients. So now think about everything we've done over the last 3 sessions to completely transform your approach to LinkedIn. Number 1, really built a robust personal profile, one that attracts and resonates and tells people you're a valuable resource. Number 2, we identified who you want to go after and or their influencers. We looked at groups, right? Looked at individuals and looked at filters and how to go about and set a target audience to start connecting with. And last but not least, we shared messaging to connect with these people and how to start enhancing the communication and cultivating relationships that ultimately will close off of LinkedIn, right? Moving away from LinkedIn to a phone call or a meeting where you can close a deal. Now, again, the key to this whole thing is number 1, your profile. Number 2, the number of conversations you initiate, which will lead to more conversations you'll have, which will lead to more opportunities for you to close. That's the beauty of LinkedIn, the number 1 professional platform in the world today. You and or your team need to be on it. You need to be present, and absolutely, you need to grow your network with LinkedIn. Now let's move forward. We got a lot more work to do, but for right now, we've given you a new tool which you should be learning and growing and building your business. I can't wait to move forward. Until next session, this is Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Group.